Great, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Rather rubles than rubble. Which is quite clever.
And it's actually quite similar to how I grew up in the American South, because I was born and raised during segregation. And that's a different form of apartheid. It just happens to be American. So I understand it completely. And it's just a way for me to hopefully enlighten some kids who don't know about it. I mean, there's a whole new, maybe 2 generations of kids that don't understand what this particular incident was, or this whole era, or how the world is possibly a better place for them because it's gone. So, you know, the story needs to be told.
This being our first meeting, we are a wounded people because of the conflict of the past, no matter on which side we stood. We all stand in need of healing.
The fact that it's actually about a genuine personal journey for someone who has to hear and understand another person's point of view and reformulate his own. It's not something that I have a real opportunity to do a lot, because the majority of the things that come by my desk are, you know, either action films or things that don't allow me to explore things the way I did when I was on stage. So I really still like doing drama, and I still like doing things that have a real, you know, human bent to them rather than a superhuman bent.
I'm not playing Anki Kroch. I'm playing Anna Malan, who's because Anki, when she started the TRC, she was already a journalist. As I start on the film, that I'm learning to be a journalist. So it's a different perspective in that sense. And Anki was the head of SABC Radio. I'm not the head of anything, you know. I'm just learning through the hearings and discovering as thinking that I know about my country and discovering through the hearings, you know, my you know, who I am in a way.
I think it might develop into a witch hunt. It might, in fact, I'm sure it will lead to some retaliation, which will be very, very difficult to control.
Any action is a challenge. Shame is the first step, right? I mean, you know, I started shooting 2 days ago, and I'm surrounded by South Africans and by Afrikaners too. I mean, half of the crew. So I'm listening to it all the time. I'll try to do my best, but you know, but I'm not being South African now, okay?
She's an extraordinary actress, and almost every actress around was interested in doing it. And the reason I suppose, you know, if I had to put down one thing, it was Kieslowski's film Blue. And if you look at that picture, where she was expressing grief without a modicum of self-pity. And that's what I felt, was required, particularly in this role.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We're absolutely intent on making it work as, for South Africans. The people who might not like what the film is saying, we don't want to give them the opportunity of saying, well, they got it wrong. So we're trying to get it right. And that's a big challenge, certainly.